Hi everybody, welcome to fall in Ottawa, a typical kind of cloudy day and not quite as cold as Thunder Bay Rainy River, but it will be there in another couple of weeks, and so I always have that to look forward to. You know where I am, of course. I'm at Centre Block. Behind me is the Peace Tower. To your left is the entrance to the House of Commons, where I go every day for duty and for question period and votes and all that sort of thing. And I'm glad you can be with me today, because one of the things I'd like to talk about today is the issue of cooperation on the Hill. When we have a majority government, it's easy for a lot of people to think, oh well, nobody has to get along with the Conservatives because they have a majority government. They can do whatever they want to do. But I'm here to tell you today that in fact, we do get along. We do cooperate, and probably my biggest job here now, aside from being on the Public Safety and National Security Committee and all the other work that I do here on the Hill, probably the most important thing I do on the Hill is work with everybody else on the Hill, build those relationships so we can get things done. And you know what, I can give you a very good example, a very good recent example of how that works. I got an email from a constituent who was concerned about a tax issue, and he wasn't complaining or anything about what about the tax system itself, but what he was saying was that his wife had passed away, and it was sort of added insult to injury to get bills from the Canadian Revenue Agency, and how unfortunate it is, and so on. And so it was quite a heartrending email. And so I went to Gail Shea, who is the Minister of Canada Revenue, and I said, Gail, here's this gentleman, here's what's happened. He left his phone number. Could you give him a call? I just thought, I had spent some years with Gail Shea and all kinds of other ministers and all sorts of people on the other side of the House, Conservatives, talking to them about various issues of building the relationships. And every so often a moment comes along where you think, well, let's see if those relationships have been built. And so, Gail was very gracious. She said, you know what, I'll give him a call. Thank you very much. She got back to me the next week and said, you know what, I've tried a couple of times to call him. I couldn't get an answer, but I'll keep trying. And it must have been maybe a month later, not too long ago, that she came and said, I had a nice conversation with him. I called him, and there's nothing we can do about the issue, but she said, I was happy to call him, because ultimately, she said, as I believe, she said, that's why we're here. We're here for each and every Canadian, and to help all Canadians and their families. And so, that was a product of building a relationship with Minister Shea. And you know what, I appreciate her persistence in getting hold of this gentleman and talking to him. So, it's not an earth-shaking incident. It's not something that changes, the way the country runs. But what it does show is that one of our biggest jobs here, and the job that I think is the biggest job here, is building these relationships so we can help Canadians collectively, but also, as in this case, which is an illustration of helping Canadians individually. Well, it's been a very busy morning here, Monday morning on Parliament Hill. I had a strategy session for my committee, Public Safety and National Security, in the House, and of course chatting to you, which is wonderful. And now I'm heading back to my office, where I'm meeting with a group of university students who want to interview me about politics and politicians. And so let me just thank you for being with me today, and let's do this again soon. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Come on in.